Hey dear ones, and I missed last week, and I'm sorry that I did. But last week's 1 minute word is actually gonna be flipping, which goes into directly into NaNoWriMo. But when I use the word flipping in this particular context as it relates to writing, I want you to use that word um, as your energy force going forward as far as creating a work. Now, what does that mean? It means that when you flip a work, that means that you're taking a concept, a theme, or even a plot from an original work and making it into something else. One of the things that I did as far as flipping a work, which is a great example of how you could use this concept, is for uh, my good girlfriend, who you all know, who I've spoken of before on many platforms, Tanya Ransom, who runs the podcast Nightlight. All her information will be in the show note, in the show notes, in the detail box below. But for her particular podcast, I flipped the story of the Headless Horseman, which is an original story, short story written by Washington Irving about 200 years ago. Now, using that particular plot, I flipped it, which means I changed it to suit the idea that I had for this particular work. And luckily for the podcast that I submitted to, aka Nightlight, she loved it and we went forward with it. But the one thing I want to admonish you all as far as flipping a work is concerned is to be bold. You don't always have to flip a work as old as the one that I did, but when you flip a work, you are literally putting your interpretation on something else. Even Stephanie Meyer did this with her Twilight Saga. We know that she flipped the original work where we know Bella was the protag in the original Twilight Book 1, and now the protag, I believe, for the Twilight 10th anniversary edition, I think the protag is a guy. I think his name is Bo. But don't be afraid to use this concept to revamp a work, especially, and it works also when you may be stuck on a particular in a particular space for your work. Don't be afraid to change point of views either, or use the same plot like I did for the Headless Horseman, and use that to satisfy your imagination. I'm already proud of you. I'm already rooting for you. Happy writing.